Hello and welcome to another episode of our competitive guide video. So today we are going to be covering Orbeetle. Orbeetle is the bug type Pokemon that was introduced in Sword and Shield, and I quite liked it. I actually used it in my first playthrough, but in a competitive sense it is not the most amazing mon, so it is generally going to be quite low down. It does have a Gigantamax form, which is really cool, and I will talk about that later on. But first of all, I have two generic sets for you. So, two very generic Orbeetle sets. The first Orbeetle set is an idea of a sticky web set. This is a very defensive set. This is a set that's not really going to be knocking out many mons, but it's going to set up that sticky web for you, which can be really, really handy in many situations, slowing down those Pokemon on the opposing team, giving you that upper advantage, giving you that first attack, which can really give you some upper momentum. Then I put Trick on here, so we're holding the Rocky Helmet. Now the Rocky Helmet, if you're hit by a physical attack, actually does a little bit of damage to the opposing mon. And if we can trick this onto an opposing mon, in some instances it can be beneficial. So for example, if they're Choice Scarfed, you can slow them right down. I've then gone for Bug Buzz, which is a strong bug type move. This actually goes beyond subs as well, so this can actually infiltrate any substitutes that are set up, which can be, again, really handy, especially if they're on low health and you just need that little kill, but they're setting up substitute, making that less viable in the short term. So Bug Buzz can be really handy there. It's also boosted by Stab. And then we've got Giga Drain, which can get you back a little bit of health because you are going to be getting hit a lot during this when you have Orbeetle out, because that is the idea of this set. It's going to be a physically defensive set, so max defense, max HP, a bold nature, so more defense, less special attack, less attack. We're not using our attack stat in this form. And then 4 EVs and special defense. You can put them in special attack, but that is completely up to you. Now, the ability is Frisk. This actually allows you to identify the held items of the opposing mon. This is the best ability that I have for Orbeetle in this scenario, and can also give you the upper hand, especially when you want to trick. Can get you to know exactly what you want and then get that off the opposing mon. Now the second set I have, and this is a set that has Swarm, and this is a calm-minded set. Now I've given it leftovers because this is hopefully going to take a couple of turns to set up your calm mind. You're not going to be knocked out because you have amazing defense and special defense stats, but that leftover is just going to re-heal you ever so slightly when you need it. Bug Buzz, again, I've already explained the benefits of that. Boosted by the bug type Stab, and also boosted by Swarm as well, which gives you a really, really powerful attack. Giga Drain, again, just to re-heal some of your health because you are going to be taking hits from setting up your calm minds. And Psyshock. Now the good thing about Psyshock is that it takes into account the defense stat rather than the special defense stat. So if you have a Pokemon, I know Blissey isn't available but for example Blissey, because that's the most common special wall, Psyshock would actually take his defense stats rather than special defense stats. So if you're playing singles and they put in a special wall against your Orbeetle, because you've set up some calm mind, you don't really want to switch out, so you have that Psyshock, also boosted by Stab. EVs, you've got max HP and max special attack with a modest nature, so more special attack and less attack. The idea of this thing, set up some calm minds, you have your natural bulk, which should help you, and then you can just go to town. You aren't the fastest though, so do be cautious of your speed tiers and what is going to outspeed you. Now we have Orbeetle Gigantamax form. Now I think this can only be viable in certain situations. It is not going to be hugely viable in just your generic situations. At least what I can tell, more in doubles, I think, because Gigantamax Orbeetle, when you use a Psychic type move, essentially it increases the gravity for 5 turns. Now, this prevents any ground type resistance, so for example, flying and levitate, which can be especially handy when you have things like Rotom Wash or Rotom Heat around, and that can really start to take them down. And you also have a lot of flying types, which can be a bit of a pain, so get a ground type Pokemon on your team as well. That's the only way that this is really going to be viable as a Gigantamax form. If not, I'd recommend just going for a standard form. Got Recover to re-heal your health, because sometimes it's useful, especially if you get down to that quarter health to allow that Patea Berry to take course. If you eat the Patea Berry, you increase your special stat by 1 stage. And if you can recover from that as well, you're also not having to worry as much about your health, and you'll have a boosted special attack. We've got Energy Ball, a strong grass type attack that's going to hit a variety of different things. And then I've put Light Screen on this as well. So I thought Light Screen could be handy, setting up your special defense, and creating this a real huge, especially defensive wall could be really, really handy in many scenarios, because we are lacking especially defensive walls in some places. EVs, we've gone 248 in HP, 252 in special defense. We calm nature, so more special defense and less attack, because we're not using that attack stat because it is very, very low. And then I've put 8 EVs in special attack, just to give you that little more prowess with your special attack there. Now, that is all I have for Orbeetle. I was a little bit stuck for inspiration on this one, but I hope I've given it some justice. If you use Orbeetle in a different way, please do let me know down in the comments below. Anyways, that is all for today, so I hope you had a good one, and I will see you soon.